Now let's go to something a bit more serious and more disturbing, and that's the ongoing anti-Israel attacks in this country and the anti-Semitism. We had this shocking attack in the Sydney suburb of Woollahra last night. F Israel sprayed over about 10 cars and a couple of buildings, and one car set alight. And I was astonished to hear the police react in this way.
There's a number of lines of inquiries that New South Wales Police are looking at the moment. It's early in the investigation. We're trying to determine the motivation for the offensive graffiti.
Tim, if they're looking to determine the motivation, there are a couple of clues around, i.e. what's sprayed on the cars.
Yeah. The motivation's probably indicated by a word beginning with F and the second word Israel. I'd think, not many to tell the cops what to do, but that might be a bit of a hint about the motivation. Just further on this, I think like a lot of people on the right, I'm not big on surveillance cameras and that sort of thing and an overt police state, but when this is happening, yes, bring on the surveillance and bring on as well perhaps something that adds to the surveillance, some sort of trigger mechanism associated with the surveillance, because this is repellent and it's exactly the sort of hatred that brought us October 7th in 2023.
It's absolutely repellent. There is some footage of a couple of blokes the police are following up on. There would be a lot of security cameras around that area. There's restaurants and businesses and the like. Mark, we've seen this all year and we've had such little action from state and federal governments. There's no leadership on this. This is what worries me. It'll keep getting worse and worse until people get seriously hurt.
100%, mate. I've had a gutful, to be honest. And if you come to my area, Fitzroy, Collingwood, everywhere you look, there's a little F Israel sticker. There's graffiti everywhere. I was out for dinner the other night, and a car just drove past, and the guy jumped out of the car and screamed "Death to Israel!" And everyone that I was at this little outside venue with cheered. And it's because we're not even denouncing this stuff. We're almost actively encouraging it now. Where are the Greens? They're too busy, chasing 18C against Pauline Hanson for a tweet, and they don't even care about this sort of stuff. And then we've got a federal government who are more concerned about microaggressions and saying mean things to them online, so they want to censor the internet, than denouncing this sort of stuff. We need real leadership, as you said, Chris, on this, because I've had an absolute gutful. It's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. It's so worrying, and that's a great point you make. I spoke to Pauline Hanson about her 18C conviction last night. I think it's an abomination. I'm glad she's appealing it. But there's the contrast. She's hounded over that tweet. That's supposed to be racial vilification, yet every day in this country now there is racial vilification of Jewish people. That's a very important contrast and paradox you've pointed out there, Mark.